Hi, good afternoon. Welcome. You're watching MF Corner. I am Sumaira Abdi. Today on the show, two exciting topics. The first, of course, is that SBI MF's Chief Investment Officer Navneet Munot will be exiting to join HDFC MF. So what does this mean for the investors of SBI Mutual Fund? Feroze Aziz, Deputy CEO of Anand Rathi Private Wealth Management, will join in to talk about that. And a little bit later, we'll talk about the various avenues which are available for global investing with Prableen Bajpai of FinFix Research. So first up, let's focus on our first topic, which is SBI Mutual Fund and the change of guard there. So Navneet Munot will soon be joining HDFC Mutual Fund as the CEO. And in place, I understand now from sources, two new CIOs will be appointed. On the equity side, there will be R. Srinivasan at SBI Mutual Fund, and on the debt side will be Rajiv Radhakrishnan. This has not yet been announced, but probably in a few days, this news should be out soon. So Feroze, first up, before I ask you about SBI Mutual Fund in particular, in general, can you give us a sense of what does it mean when a CIO, leaves a particular mutual fund? Because, over the last few years, there have been quite a few instances. Does it have material impact on the funds, and what does it mean for investors?
Sumaira, I think CIO exit means different for different AMCs. If you, like you said, over the last 5 years, there have been about 10 CIOs who have left and joined elsewhere. So there have been 10 changes of the CIOs. And in each of these cases, the outcome has been very different. So I think CIO change is an important event, no denying that. Second, I think process-driven organizations don't have material impact. That's the conclusion you can derive from the experience of these 10 exits and an analysis into it. Third, there could be some degree of redemption pressure on some asset management companies when the CIO leaves, but not all of them. Because there have been some CIOs leaving and then the assets have grown multifold. And multifold would be a wrong statement to make, exponentially. And I think performances have also improved in certain cases. So it's a mixed bag. There's no conclusive data. I think process-driven large organizations have not had impact.
Okay, Feroze, I take this point about process-driven AMCs, but, a lot of the performance is also market-driven, right? I mean, if you see the recent performance, it would be bad across the board, right, except for a few standout performers. So how much of a performance is actually the CIO's forte? I mean, I know that it's considered a change in the fundamental attribute, but if a CIO is not managing the funds themselves, right? Like in Navneet's case. And we have many other CIOs who are not actively managing the funds, but perhaps guiding the overall investment philosophy. How much of a change does that make?
Yes, I think, Sumaira, you've actually raised a very, very valid point. There are quite a few CIOs who don't manage the schemes themselves. For example, in Navneet's case, most of the large schemes were not managed by him in SBI. As he exits. So I think fund manager has a very large role to play. How do you find out how much is CIO's influence is by finding out the disparity in the performance of the schemes of that AMC. For example, in SBI's case, because that's the case in point, you see that last 3-year performance has been quite diverse for the schemes. Here, on one hand, you have an SBI focused equity, which has delivered 7% return close to in 3 years. And in the same basket of SBI, you have another fund, which is SBI Midcap, which has generated about -1%. So this diversity says that the freedom of the fund manager to manage the portfolio is high. That's why the CIO's relevance, especially from a long-term perspective, is not so much in the case of SBI, because divergence of performance in a fund house exhibits the freedom given to the fund manager than the CIO.
Okay, so let's take that point forward, right? Because now the two new CIOs that are coming in, R. Srinivasan on equity and Rajiv Radhakrishnan on debt, both have a vintage of 10 years. They've both been actively managing funds. What does it mean for investors, not just of the funds that they were managing, but overall, right? I mean, both equity and debt segments. They both have a vintage of 10 years at SBI. And, the second rung has been mentored quite well. Should investors worry?
To my mind, clearly there's nothing to worry in case of SBI. Because the analysis clearly says if you bifurcate equity and debt, equity has three popular fund managers who've been there for 10 odd years. We have Srinivasan, as his name is in full. He has been managing SBI focused equity from 2009. That's one of their large flagship schemes. You have Sony, who's been managing blue chip from long periods of time, almost about 11, 12 years. So, and Dinesh, who's also managing multi-cap and other schemes. I don't know precisely which other schemes, but I think Dinesh has been there around for about 10 odd years. So the fund manager vintage in this case of SBI, because it's a very old hand in asset management, is close to 11 years. That's a long period of average fund manager vintage in a specific company. The average age of the fund manager, which is also very important because that tells you how many market cycles would the fund manager have seen. If you have a fund manager who's 30 years old, he wouldn't have seen as many market cycles of bears and bulls. Here, the average age of the fund manager, which seems trivial but is very important from an experience standpoint overall, is 42 years. So I think that gives me enough confidence on the equity side. It's taken care of. And Srinivasan is a very, very sensible stock picker, and that's been exhibited in the focused equity fund. And if he's the candidate to become the CIO, it's a very good news for the equity fund investors of SBI, to my mind. On the debt side also, Rajiv has been there for long periods of time, and he manages the debt portion of the hybrid scheme, which has been managed very well, to my mind, unlike the balanced schemes in the marketplace. So I'm very confident if this role of Navneet is broken into two components, debt and equity, I think it's a good news for SBI fund investors than a bad news, because both have their skill sets, and the AMC is large enough to be split into two AMCs, because we're speaking of upwards of 4 lakh crores of assets under management.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about time, right? I mean, you needed two separate CEOs. And in general, I would think that, SBI Mutual Fund has shown stability in terms of, not too many exits there, right? Barring the big one being Navneet. Therefore, do you expect any kind of redemption pressure at all or none?
To my mind, SBI is a very different fund house. It is the top fund house now. The kind of assets which they've collected are not from one source. There's a diverse nature of assets. If you look at the 4 odd lakh crores, 1 lakh crore actually comes from their own distribution arm in the form of an SBI bank, which is largely retail. That's a very large distribution network in itself. The rest of the distributors contribute to 1 lakh crore of assets. EPFO, Employee Provident Fund, the organization contributes about 1 lakh odd crores, and institutional, largely debt side, contributes about upwards of 1 lakh. So it's very diverse. It does not have too much dependency on HNI money as much as other AMCs would have. So I think redemption pressure would not be there, especially in their large schemes, which are having consistency with respect to the fund manager. Before and after, the fund manager is same. So hardly much changes. If a fund manager leaves, then it's even more important an event than this one.
Okay, and just before we wrap up then, I mean, since Navneet Munot is joining HDFC, where the performance has been in question, and the thing is that, from being a stock person, he now goes into an organizational role, right, as the CEO. You think he can revive the fortunes?
Yes, I think Navneet is a great man. Both substance and simplicity. I've interacted with him in numerous occasions, and I've learned a lot. To my mind, he brings a large skill set, which HDFC currently needs. He is a great man, so he's created a team which keeps SBI not at risk at all because of his long stint at SBI. I think HDFC badly needed somebody who understands the business of money management at this highest level. So I think having a hands-on market person as the CEO helps steer the direction for one of the largest AMCs of the country in a better, and one of the largest listed AMCs in the country in the better direction. So I think the performance slip of HDFC has been attributed to PSU holdings and several other things. I think Navneet will only help and assist in the management as well, now that he knows the trick of the trade of managing equity and being a stock picker himself.
Okay, so far from being worried, in fact, investors of both SBI Mutual Fund and HDFC AMC should be cheered a lot. And here's wishing the very best to both the teams and, of course, to Navneet Munot as well. Feroze, thanks very much for joining in and for explaining this and breaking it down for our viewers. A quick break on that note. On the other side, we'll talk about the many facets of global investing, how you can incorporate it in your portfolio. Join